Hi, this is Brad with Copper Creek Cuts. If you don't know, in my lawn care business, which is about 20 customers, once a week maintenance mowing during the growing season, for the past 4 or 5 years I've been using electric lawn care equipment for the string trimmer, edger, hedge trimmers, the backpack blowers, handheld blowers, not the mower that does most of the work. Although I do have this electric push mower that I use for a couple of yards that I do. And at this stage, with as many clients as I have to get through a day, I have to have some type of battery pack. So that's how I got started playing around with portable electric battery packs to recharge those batteries that I was using throughout the day. So when Jackery asked me if I would like to try out their 3000 Pro, I said absolutely. Because while I wouldn't use this to power the lawn care business, it's just too big to get in the truck. What we would use this for, and what we have used battery packs for very recently, is when we lose power because of hurricanes. We live in Northeast Florida, so that's something that is a fairly common occurrence. Now, the issue with any battery pack is that it's only as good as long as the batteries have juice. And then if you're in a situation where you don't have a grid to hook up to, it's a brick. It's useless. That's why I'm so excited about the solar panels. Despite having used battery packs for 4 or 5 years, I've never used a solar panel before. These two solar panels, they fold out. They've got their own built-in stands. They've got little gauges so you can tell if you're facing the sun exactly. And via a charging cord, they will hook up directly to this unit and allow you to charge it from sun, which again in Florida we have a lot of. Once the hurricane moves out, you've got clear skies. So the rest of this video is really just going to be showing how I would use this machine in real life. I've seen people, you know, they plug in every single cooking appliance they have to these things to show you that it works. The idea of, will the Jackery power my blender? There's hundreds of videos that show it will. I want to show a real world use of, this is how we would use it. Hopefully that'll give you some information to see if it's something that would work for you. And as a quick side note, if you're also interested in the nitty-gritty of all the specifications and the capabilities, there is a channel, Hobotech. He does really deep dives in all the specifications of these things, so that's a good video to check out as well. So on this machine, you have USB-A and USB-C charging ports. You have your standard household plugs. One of the things that's nice for us is you've got a 30 amp RV plug. On both of the sides, you've got venting. You do have wheels and a handle. This is a portable unit. The handle collapses. And because it is heavier, this makes it a lot easier to use. Here around the back is all of your inputs. You have an AC charging and a DC input. Those are going to correspond to the cables you get. This obviously is one that you would plug into your wall and then plug this in into the AC charging. If you want to charge this from a vehicle 12 volt, you can do that as well. And you have this plug, which runs into one of your DC inputs. And you do have a little carry case included for those cables. All the cabling is really high quality, higher quality than I expected, honestly. These are for the solar panels, and these are the solar panel extension cables. You'll also be able to tap into the solar cable with some USB outlets if you need. And then again, venting on this side too. Does have carry handles. Whether or not you'll be able to carry it, obviously that's up to you and your physicality. I can do it and it's not overly difficult. I would not want to carry this more than I had to. The solar panels that Jackery included are collapsible. You can see how they fold into themselves. There's some magnets and clasps that hold them shut. These are the Solar Saga 200 watt panels. You can see they have adapters where the plugs connect right into them. We also have some extension cables for those panels. That's convenient because, again, in Florida it gets very hot. I don't want the actual machine in the sunlight. I just want the solar panels in the sunlight. Obviously, in the shade, your solar panels are not going to work. You can see that we're putting out 41 watts for a floor fan that's on high. We are not getting any input from those solar panels because, again, they're not in the sun. Now we've gone ahead and extended those panels. We've used the included stand or feet to position them perfectly for the sun coming in. And now they're collecting 360 watts of solar energy that's being converted into electricity to recharge this box. This is what happens when a cloud passes through. A great example of the cons of solar power. It only works when the sun's out, so cloudy weather, nighttime, you're not going to be able to charge anything with solar power. We're down to 29 watts from that cloud passing through. Now we can see the watts kick back up as that cloud passes and the sunlight again fully hits those panels. This is, again, much more of a real-world test that we would do. A couple of floor fans on high and both of our refrigerators plugged in. That is most likely what we would do in the case of a power out. We've got to have our fridges stay on so we don't lose our food. So that's what these orange extension cords you see. One of them runs to the fridge in the garage. The other one runs to our main fridge in our kitchen. Looks like we need to eat some of those leftovers. And with about 340 watts of output and 340 watts of input, we're kind of a net zero. We could keep this going forever, but we can't keep it going forever because the sun doesn't stay out forever. But at least in this configuration, hopefully what you can see is that those solar panels could let you be at kind of a net zero during the day. You could stay at 99 or 100%. And then at nighttime, you would have that full battery pack to run the things that are important to you while you sleep. When you wake up and you do it all over again the next day, the solar is going to keep you topped off. Now, one other thing that we would likely do in the event of a hurricane that knocked out our power for a while is we might retreat into our camper for some air conditioning, just as a little bit of a break. This camper runs off a 30 amp RV plug. It does have an air conditioning unit inside of it. Because it is such a small space, it doesn't have to run very long to get the temperature down. So right now I'm shutting it off to kill the main electrical draw so I can unhook that plug from the house. You can see there's a little dog bone that connects a standard plug to the 30 amp. There's a surge protector in between. That's what the big black thing is. And then we will run that to that 30 amp plug on the Jackery. We'll be able to run the whole RV from that power box. Now the issue is something like an air conditioner is a huge draw. So I'm not going to try and say that this Jackery will run it all day long because it won't. You can see as that output climbs that the hours left of runtime is going to go down, so that even with the solar panel recharging, we would only be able to run that air conditioner for a few hours solid before we zeroed out our battery. And then we wouldn't have anything to run the refrigerators, the food would go bad. So this isn't something where you would run your air conditioner all the time off this. But if it's something where you needed to run it 30 minutes every couple hours just so you had a space that wasn't 90 degrees in the heat of the day, that's something that you could do. On the solar panel, there's these little gauges that let you see whether or not you're placing them directly where the sunlight is. That was a helpful little addition and lets you make sure everything is aligned so you're getting the best solar energy possible. This is after running that air conditioner for, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. You can see we lost 16% of our charge, but now only one of the refrigerators is drawing anything for the compressor, so we're putting out 100 watts. We're still taking in 300, so we are getting some charge back. So that's our experience with the Jackery Explorer 3000 Pro. If you're looking to power your whole house, this is not the machine. Now, if you are interested in more of a whole home setup, Jackery has some new products that you can look at. There'll be links in the description. I think this would be also a great package for off-grid camping. The other thing that's nice about Jackery is their warranty. This machine has something like a 5-year warranty. The other thing is Costco is going to start carrying Jackery units. I'm a huge Costco fan. If something's at Costco, I've got a lot of trust in it, in the product, in the brand. One other thing I want to briefly mention about Jackery, they didn't ask me to put this in the video. They don't know that I'm putting this in the video. But whenever we were negotiating back and forth about the type of machine and whether or not we'd have solar panels, when I told them where I was in the story about the hurricanes that we had come through recently, they said, well, we want to send some units your way and maybe you can do a raffle or a giveaway locally to people who need them. And then I said, well, locally, we didn't really have that much damage. It's, you know, a lot further south. And so they said, well, just go ahead and do whatever you want with them. Get them to who needs them. And, you know, you don't even have to worry about like a giveaway or a raffle or anything. So I said, okay. I thought they'd be sending like, you know, little tiny power banks. They sent 19 of these units and 17 solar panels to go with them. So I was able to turn that around and get that in the hands of a disaster relief organization that's sending them out to remote disaster offices that are currently working without power in those affected areas. These units are going to be used to power Starlink internet. Once they get done using those devices stateside, they will be repurposed, packed up, and shipped to islands like Cuba, Jamaica, where the infrastructure is not as reliable as the United States. So a big thanks to Jackery for their generosity in that, and for sending this product for me to try out so I could show to you guys. All the links and follow-up information will be in the description if you're interested in looking at any of these products. If you've got questions, please leave them down below in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do